So, I'll test video. 6 hours. I'll test video. What we're going to do next, what we're about to do, is our red partners and our blue partners are going to discuss with each other. We're going to take 30 seconds for each of these 3 questions that we're about to look at. So, first things first, let's go right there. And first question on the board, what did you notice about the doll test? What are just the things you noticed? Question number 1. Only one we're looking at for right now. Okay? So reds talk to reds, blues talk to blues. Discuss some of the things you noticed, and we'll share out after that. Okay? So, what are some things we noticed about the doll test? Let's go. Where from today? Corey, I haven't heard from you today. What are some of the things you and Brooklyn talked about that you noticed about the doll test?
They pretty much always chose the one that went first is also the one that went most.
Who chose which one? Be more specific. Who chose what? Be a little more specific than that. Okay, they chose the black dolls. Who specifically chose the black dolls? The black kids, right? And they associated those with being bad. Okay? What else? What are some other things we noticed when we watched the doll test video?
That part always gives you a hard time.
It does give you a hard time. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I think you
Got it? Yeah, but
Good job.
thank you. Needed that. Alexa, what'd you have?
Did they do the part 2 where it was like where they didn't have a white man standing in them?
No, that wasn't a focus of this part. What else did we notice? Rose?
It did seem more like they were trying to answer like correctly instead of like what they just thought.
There's this idea, or vague notion that they answered more of like what they felt was the correct answer as opposed to what they actually felt and what they actually wanted. Right? That's a big one. That's a good point to pick up on. Okay. So, same principle again. Talking our partners. Reds talk to reds, blues talk to blues. We're going to focus on question number 2. Talk about the things we noticed about the doll test. Now what we're looking for is what does this tell you about segregation of the schools? Okay? So another 30 seconds on the timer. Share out starting now. So, what does this test tell us about the segregation of schools? What do we pick up on? Let's go. Jackson?
That schools are teaching the black kids that they're bad.
Schools are teaching that black kids are bad. Definitely going on. What else? What are some other things that we know that we might infer is going on in these schools? Rush?
Based off the man giving a test, I feel like that there is a Hispanic food chain that is also owned by that guy. test. I don't know if
No,
it's- I
no,
think it's
we're
close.
off base, no more, disregard that, nope. Nathan?
The schools are like teaching them that like white is better.
School is teaching them that white is better. Yes, another big one. Let's go one more. Let's see. Mine.
Question, the second, okay.
The second one is what I'm talking about.
I just like what everyone else thought they're teaching them that like, there's, since the schools are segregated, like there's a good side and a good side.
Okay. Another big part of the synopsis. Okay. We picked up on some things about, we noticed first the things about the doll test. Then we transition that about taking those, saying these tell us a lot about what's going on in the schools and about segregation. Now let's take it a step further. And based on both of these, based on the test and the segregation of schools, what do you think the long-term effects of the elements of this doll test and in segregation of schools is going to have on key areas like society, policies, morality, things like that? Okay? So let's take another 30 seconds, last go around, same partners as before. Let's share out and discuss that third question. Question number 3, in case we're not picking up on what I'm putting down. And let's take that 30 seconds starting now.
I think the long-term effects are actually. I feel like even the kids that are that thing, I think will affect them like the
That makes sense. Like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, why is he on this email? I didn't check it. I'm like, So, based on this test, what do you think some of the long-term effects are going to be? Alexa?
Maybe like some, thank you, Anthony. Maybe like some sort of dysmorphia, like they want to be something that they're not, and like they try to be something that they're not, and they don't see that like just being themselves is okay.
Good language too, dysmorphia. Yeah, this idea, right? That they're not choosing, they're disassociating themselves from what they actually are, who they actually are. We saw with the boy, right? Which one looks most like you? African American boy picks up what doll?
The white one,
The white doll.
like a more pale one.
Anything, can you give that back to her, please?
She has a pencil in her hand.
Alexa, can you give back her pencil? Can we act like ninth graders that we all are supposed to do? Continuing on. Here, what do you know?
I think it's like creating like a sense of like difference, like superiority almost, and like it's gonna get worse as these kids get older because they're already gonna have it set in their mind that the white people are more like trustful and like they can just trust black people.
That's a great point to bring up. This idea of superiority, right? It's a huge point to bring up, and that's where an effect of this can breed. This idea that certain groups are superior and better and good, as opposed to others that are inferior, bad, and associated with negative connotations. It's a great point. Rose?
I think that they'd have like a bad self-image, like they view like themselves as bad and like other people like them bad, and like just view like all white kids as like really bad.
Self-image aspect of this has huge impacts. It has impacted, right? Like I said, especially in today's day and age, when we put such a priority on like mental health and overall well-being. Can you imagine what some of these kids probably felt? I couldn't. Let's draw our attention here real quick to morality. The morality side of things. Start off, what is morality? Like, morality is what in a general sense?
What you believe in, doing the right thing.
What you believe in, doing the right thing, the thing you sort of like justify your choices on, right? For the most part, poor definition, but good enough for what we're using it for. And this idea of morality, how this can be impacted, we've all touched on it a little bit with all our responses. But morality, what starts to become sort of just and okay with, is people saying and feeling these things we observed in the doll test video. Hey, yes, I'm okay. I don't feel this is wrong that little kids are choosing something that's not, choosing a toy of a different color, of a different race, and depicting that as good, as opposed to picking something that represents themselves as a negative, bad sort of representation. Right? We become okay with that in this scenario. If this is a long-term effect of this, had it continued, would be just that morality would essentially be morphed, would shift, change, to where people would be okay with this thought process, with this ideology. Right? So overall,